Hey everyone, welcome back to Genai Linux News. Let's kick things off with something that's been a real pain point for privacy-conscious Android users. According to ITS-FOSS, the iodé project has been tackling one of the biggest challenges facing de-Googled smartphone users, getting banking apps to actually work. In a recent discussion with Brian from the iodé team, they explained how they're solving the critical issue of keeping Google services out while still maintaining compatibility with essential apps like your banking software. This is huge because it means privacy-focused users don't have to choose between security and functionality anymore. The locked bootloader and removal of Google's tracking infrastructure are still there, but now your financial apps just work. It's a game changer for anyone who's been frustrated trying to use alternative Android implementations. Now here's where things get really exciting. Fornix is reporting that Linux 7.2 is bringing some truly remarkable performance improvements, and we're talking massive gains here. The headline feature is the extended cache-aware scheduling system, and the numbers are genuinely impressive. We're seeing performance improvements of up to 360% in MySQL workloads, and that's just the beginning. Memory management got a complete overhaul too, with the MGLRU improvements showing MongoDB throughput increases of 30 to 100%. These aren't minor tweaks. This is the kind of optimization work that makes a real difference for servers, databases, and intensive workloads. On top of that, Linux 7.2 is also shipping post-quantum cryptography support with MLDSA signatures for integrity checking, better NTFS compatibility, and improvements to the F2FS flash-friendly file system. This is the kind of kernel release that shows why the Linux community's focus on performance and security matters. Let's talk about something that's been a long time coming. OMG Ubuntu is reporting that Canonical has finally brought LivePatch to ARM64 devices, and this is genuinely one of Ubuntu's best-kept security secrets. What does this mean? It means ARM-based systems, think servers, embedded devices, and edge computing setups, can now apply critical kernel security patches without rebooting. That's right, no downtime required. Normally, kernel updates mean you're looking at a restart, but with LivePatch, those critical security fixes are applied directly to the running kernel and memory. If you're running a production workload or managing multiple servers, this is absolutely game-changing. It does require Ubuntu Pro, but for anyone serious about uptime and security, this feature is worth its weight in gold. This expands LivePatch beyond just x86 systems, opening up the ARM ecosystem to serious infrastructure deployments. Switching gears to firmware, Fornix has the details on Coreboot 26.06, the latest quarterly release of this critical open-source firmware project. This update is significant because it brings support for some seriously cutting-edge hardware. We're talking Intel's Nova Lake processors and AMD's Strix Halo platform, plus support for 31 new motherboards overall. For those who might not be familiar, Coreboot is the open-source replacement for proprietary BIOS and UEFI firmware, and it's essential for anyone who wants full control over their system at the lowest level. Supporting newer hardware like Nova Lake and Strix Halo means the open-source firmware ecosystem is keeping pace with cutting-edge chip releases. This is crucial for system builders, data center operators, and anyone who takes system security and transparency seriously. The fact that Coreboot is continuously expanding its hardware compatibility shows the project is thriving and moving forward. Here's something that matters to everyone in the open-source world. Fornix reports that the Linux Foundation, alongside major players like Amazon, Anthropic, OpenAI, NVIDIA, Microsoft, and Red Hat, has launched a new project called Akrites. Think of Akrites as a defensive shield for critical open-source software. The project is specifically designed to protect open-source projects from a new kind of threat, AI and machine learning systems that can automatically discover vulnerabilities at an unprecedented pace. With LLMs becoming more sophisticated at finding bugs, the traditional security response time isn't fast enough anymore. Akrites is working to detect and remediate these AI-discovered vulnerabilities before bad actors can exploit them. This is a smart, forward-thinking initiative that recognizes the reality of modern security threats. The collaborative nature of the project, bringing together tech giants and security experts, shows how serious this challenge is. For anyone maintaining or using critical open-source software, Knowing that Akrites is watching over these projects is genuinely reassuring. Alright, gamers and wine enthusiasts, Fornix is reporting that DXVK 3.0 has just landed, and this is a major milestone for DirectX compatibility on Linux. For those who might not know, DXVK is the translation layer that converts DirectX calls into Vulkan, making Windows games playable on Linux through Wine and Valve's Proton. Version 3.0 brings significant improvements to shader compilation with new DXBC support, and descriptor heaps are now enabled by default, which means better performance and compatibility across the board. What's really exciting here is that this represents years of optimization work finally reaching a new maturity level. Games that previously had performance issues or compatibility quirks should see real improvements. Whether you're using this for gaming or professional Windows software, DXVK 3.0 represents a massive step forward in making Linux a genuinely viable alternative to Windows for DirectX-dependent applications. And finally, let's talk about something that's genuinely cool. OMG Ubuntu reports that Pine64 has launched Pine Voice, a $50 smart speaker that runs completely open-source software on a RISC-V chip. This isn't some limited experimental device. It's a real, usable product built around the Buffalo Lab BL606P RISC-V processor with integrated Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and Zigbee support. It features a dual microphone array for voice detection and includes local wake word detection, meaning you're not sending your voice data to some corporate cloud. The factory software is designed for home assistant integration, making it perfect for open-source smart home enthusiasts. What makes this really significant is that it's bringing RISC-V, an open instruction set architecture, into practical, consumer-friendly hardware at an incredibly accessible price point. For anyone who's frustrated with proprietary smart speakers and wants real privacy and control, Pine Voice is a game changer. It proves that open-source hardware doesn't have to be expensive or compromised.